Hi everybody, Derek Christensen here. I'm the owner of Legion Law, a premier estate planning and probate firm in Dallas, Texas. Today I wanted to talk about burial directions, letters to loved ones, other documents that you'll need to make sure that your estate is covered whenever you pass away. But before you talk to me about that, you also need to know how to reach out to me, and that'll be through my email, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com, or you can find me at my website, www.legionlawpllc.com. So with that, let's dive right in. I get this question a lot because people are of the impression that an estate plan should also include burial directions, organ donation, letters to loved ones, etc., etc. Now, I tell them, yes, they can be included in an estate plan, but they certainly are optional. Again, an estate plan is just a series of documents that addresses what happens to you while you're still alive and after you've passed away. Now, that being said, more often than not, the estate plan is going to be made out of legal documents that address specific issues. And when I say legal, I mean you have signed them, they are binding, you must follow the directions on those documents or else you are violating the law. And that is certainly where an attorney like myself can definitely help you out. However, there are certain documents that are not binding, that you can't just force someone to do if they don't want to. If, for instance, you don't have to force someone to bury you or cremate you, but you can express your desires. You can say, I wish this happens. I want these flowers at my funeral. I want this song to be played, etc., etc. That is certainly an option, but again, people don't have to follow your directions. You're dead. And the only way it's going to force somebody to do that is if it's a contract, which obviously, unless they sign on the other side and say, yes, I agree to follow these instructions, that never happens. Unless they do that, it's not binding at all. So express your preference, let your children know, let your loved ones know, and just let them fight it out if one of them wants to deviate from that. So burial directions, feel free to include them. You can type them out, you can handwrite them out, just include them in your binder, or let your children know verbally or whatever. Send an email. You can do whatever you want. Another document that you may want to include is a letter to your children or to your loved ones where you can say how much you love them, how much you appreciate them, your sentiment towards them. But again, that's not a legal document that an attorney should be drafting. And I don't know your family well enough, and I certainly can't speak as if I am you, but it is certainly nice to do that if you have positive things to say. If you have not positive things to say, you probably should avoid this option because ticking people off and annoying them and embarrassing them, especially if other people can read that letter, is not the way to go about a smooth transition in estate planning. If you want to pick fights and insult people from beyond the grave, go for it. I mean, if you're a fighting man, more power to you. But that is something that you can include, and oftentimes people do include in their estate plans. And last but not least, there's also a document, I don't really know how to describe this one. It's just simply a document that describes everything. It's kind of a list, a schedule, if you will, of your assets, liabilities, where you can find things, and you want to specify where the bank account is held, who's the title company who helped you out with the house, all sorts of specific information. And I tell people this, but you want to think about it as if your best friend said, all right, you're now in charge of making sure my wife gets everything. What do you even do? Like, I have no idea. My best friend, I have no idea what accounts he uses. I have no idea what insurance policies he has. I don't know if he has life insurance, annuities, a retirement account. I have no idea what he has because we don't talk about it that often. So imagine if you are that person who now has to take care of somebody you have no idea who they are or what they have. You'll want something to be able to show you where to find find that information. So oftentimes it'll be, again, account numbers, passwords, institutions where assets are held, liabilities, number of years until the mortgage is paid off, et cetera, where, it's kind of private information, and it's very, if you gave that information out, you might get in trouble. So you want to include it in a very safe place where people aren't going to steal it or access it and make bad decisions. So again, write that stuff down, make sure people know where to find things, because it's nothing more difficult than just trying to guess what's happening and reaching out to a bunch of different places and saying, hey, do you know this person? So that's another document that you might want to include in your estate plan. So those are all additional documents. And again, none of them are binding. None of them are legally requiring an attorney to do. So just type them out, sit down and flush it all out in a half an hour. And you can print them out, include them in your binder. I would let your children know where to find these things. I would let them know your preferences when it comes to burial and organs and all that stuff. Just let them know. Just openly communicate with them and let them know where to find that information if it's ever needed. And by doing so, you will not only have the estate plan in place and all the legal documents to protect you, but you'll also make it much, much smoother for your people to resolve everything after you've passed away. So that's my suggestion. And again, you don't really need an attorney to do any of that. So feel free to just do it yourself. And if you do need tips and pointers, feel free to reach out. You can email me directly, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawplc.com. Or you can go to my website and go to our Contact Us page, where you can schedule a free over-the-phone consultation directly onto my calendar at www.legionlawplc.com. So with that, thanks so much for watching and have a great day.